Good morning, everyone. Well, the last 2 days, well, yesterday and today, I've spent several hours, I know 5 for sure yesterday, just doing die cuts and going through my scraps and punching things out. And one of the things that I really enjoyed was pulling out, like, I don't know if you can see that, but like vellum and some handmade papers and just punching things out of them. It was real, you know, it's like they're real pretty. I'm gonna see if I got a flat surface here. Like here's vellum. Where's some of those? Oh, like here, these are like handmade paper, and it's like, look at how pretty those are. I don't know if you can see the texture, but so pretty. And then I punched some things out of vellum that was printed. Might have to go get a drink. And some embossed paper. So to me, it was like that was kind of that was the ones I really enjoyed because it was so different. Oh, and I even have a couple here that's on velvet paper. So I thought, oh, that was totally worth it. It was totally worth it to me to do that. Oh, now what did I do with my envelope? Oh my gosh. Oh, it's underneath there. Yes. And then I did some jars with vellum, and also, oh, and then this really thin, it's like handmade paper. Maybe it's the Mulberry paper. And I did some out of those, and they really didn't punch well, so they would be good to die cut, because they just, tell you, they just look like a whisper of a leaf. So beautiful. So I did a bunch of those things, and I think most of those I punched. I don't think I really did any die cutting, but they would be nice to die cut. I did these die cuts that I hadn't used before, the ovals, and then some of these other like Tim Holtz ones that I have. So I just did a bunch of different ones, and like this one here I'd gotten and I hadn't used yet. It's the bee and the honeycomb. Okay, I think so. That's what I did. I did that for several hours. So I keep them in these things. They're kind of like those Avriel pockets, but they were like the discounted, or they're cheaper, and I bought them off Amazon. And so that's what I used to put them in. And I have 2 different sizes, but for these I'm using the smaller size. And the other thing I am going to, I wasn't going to show my glitter, but when I started going through it, I thought, well, maybe somebody would want to see these, because it's like I have more than just glitter here. Plus, it's like seeing things kind of brings things to mind. Like today, somebody mentioned to me about the, oh, I think it was Scylla. She says, oh yeah, I remember the ribbon slides. She says, now I'm gonna have to look for them. And I'm gonna, whenever I do my collection obsession, I think I'm gonna look for something in my stash that I just haven't been using, because I really had to look for those ribbon slides once I decided I was gonna use them. And they were not where I expected, so it's like, you know, it took me probably 2 days of looking just because I was looking everywhere. Okay, now I also use the glitter paper when I make those little arrows that I showed how to make in one of my earlier videos, and I'll put a link to that. And anytime I have scraps, oh, when I use the arrows, I actually cut like it's a ½ an inch. So, and then I cut it into 2 pieces. So it's like I don't need a very big piece. And this is why I decided, oh, I'm gonna go through this, because here's Disney paper. And I think I might have had one of these in there, otherwise I actually used it. So, but it's just a Disney paper by EK Success. And I am going to set this aside because I'm going to be working on some Disney. And then this was, I can't remember the name of this paper, the name of this paper, but I will put it down below because I did look it up. And so I will write it, or I'll put it in the drop down menu. So I'm also going to put this side because it's perfect for Disney pictures. And then I just have some different shades of blue. Now some of these are the kind that, shed. And if I find one that sheds a lot, I might get rid of it. When I went through my scraps, I got rid of like a trash can, a small trash can full. And then I took a bunch of them and I'm giving them to the grandchildren because they will have fun with them. Okay, so now I have the foil. I'm going to put that someplace else. And here's some more of that collection that's like the Treasure Island. So I'm going to put that aside. I'm going to put that with it. And just see if I can use some of it for the Disney trip. And I'm pretty sure that Skylar should have some Disney photos too. So I need to call her mom and ask her if she got any photos. So this is all like, it's got the castles and everything, so that would be cute to use for Disney. And this is all that same collection. Far, far away. And again with the castles. And this one had like the Hocus Pocus layout I did with Skylar in it. I got from this collection. Happily Ever After. There's a dragon. And here it looks like a scroll. Do I have two? Yeah, two of those. I might have a couple of these set aside for a different layout. Here's a knight in shining armor. That guy we were all waiting for when we met our husbands. Here's another knight in shining armor. It says off on an adventure. And here's fairies. Did I use that on something? I might have done a layout in that. I'm not sure. It's kind of ringing a bell. Once Upon a Time. That might be the name of the collection too. I'm just not sure. But I will put it down below. And more glitter. And I had this put in here because of all the glitter. And so whatever, right now I'm gonna set it just like in front of the glitter, just so I remember it when I'm working on the Disney things. This one is really neat, and it's from a paper pad that I got. Oh, this one is from Doodlebug. Lots of them are just from Hobby Lobby, I think. But this is from Paper Pad that I'll get to. There lived a handsome prince. And this is from it, the same collection, but there's no glitter on this. Just like the Treasure Island. And I thought I had pulled all this apart previously. And this is Coordination, so I must have got that at Joann's. And this is Paper Studios. Is that one that... Something here is falling apart here. Okay, and this here, I'm pretty sure I got this at Michael's. I don't get up to Michael's much, but I'm pretty sure I got this there. And it's by DCWV. And it was a holiday glitter. And I'm just gonna go ahead and pull this apart. And this is very nice because it almost feels like a vinyl. And I don't think this comes apart at all. But look at, I mean, that would be like so gorgeous on a Christmas layout. And there is 3 of those. And I never think to get in there. And that's why I decided I was gonna show these, because I don't think about these. And there's some in here, some specialty papers in here. I never think about them. And so maybe it will remind you all of something that you've been forgetting about. Look at this one. It's got like a damask pattern, but all in this blue glitter. And you know, it's not like I'm gonna put glitter on every page, but once in a while I love to see a little glitter. I mean, and even if I used it once every 50 layouts, it would be something. But I love this color. It's so pretty. Of course, it's blue. What's not to love about it? And I just love how these feel. And these do not shed any glitter. So I don't know if all theirs is like this, but if you have to use glitter, I would say this is a way to go. And this was, even though it's a Christmas line, it's like none of it is screaming Christmas at all. Except for maybe this, but it's not screaming. It's just whispering Christmas. And that is it. So those are all the glitters. And I can get rid of this. Okay. So I will be putting these separate from the other ones that I'm going to be using for Disney. Okay, now I have homemade paper, and I'll tell you, I bought a ton of this because I was making, well, I think some of it I just got like in a pack where you got a bunch of different colors, but I tried making some of those little bears, and they were actually quite cute to make, but it wasn't something I kept up on. So I've got, oh, you know what, these ones I did buy individually. So that's a red. I think we used them a lot when we did card classes for different things, just for different textures. And I like them. It's like, and especially once I punch them, it's like, oh, that's really cute. Punch. I mean, just think if you did some die cuts with like fall leaves. That'd be really cute. So I plan on doing some of those. And then this one, I know that I bought this probably 20 years ago because it was so different. Because it kind of looks like parquet. But it's that thick handmade paper. And this one here, it's got like little pieces. And I know at one time I thought, oh, I'm gonna make some of that. No. That would be pretty done if fall leaves and then inked. Die cut. So there's yellow, green. And I'm gonna keep all these, all the colors. Now I would get rid of some of the tan ones because they're, even if I make teddy bears, it would probably be one per kid. And oh, I'll have to remember this when I need navy because I have very little navy, and here there's a bunch. We've got like a blue, and then we got like the darker blue, like navy color, and this is kind of a putrid purple. Getting rid of that. It's ugly. And then kind of a leathery color. And these are just going to be different shades of brown, but see, it's got like, it looks like it's got grass in it, hay. And I've used them, look at this one had, no, that, I don't know if that was in there or if that was something I punched, because I don't have a punch like that I know of. Look at that, that's so funny. It's cute. And I don't remember seeing any of that in the paper before. So, and then I have all these lighter colors, and this is what I had punched stuff out of. Oh, and look at that one. It's kind of, it's like that would make, if you rub some color over it, it would make a neat, like wood or a stone path or something, like in a scene. So I'm gonna say this is all the same. Here's some really pretty pink. Here's some with pressed flowers in it. It's really pretty, like for making, I have to say, I just pulled a cat hair off there. We haven't had cats here for a long time, for a few years. Here's some with the leaves in them, and here's one with hearts in it. So I mean, they would make beautiful cards, beautiful layouts. So I will be using those one of these days. In fact, I'm just gonna put it on my agenda. Okay, and then what is this? This is all, oh, this is a velvet paper. Here's vellums. Here's some vellums that I wrote, like, this was Easter, for an Easter card from our classes. So it's like I typed on them, and then I would use those sometimes for layouts. And here's that, I think this is a stuff called Mulberry paper, and that was really pretty as a leaf. And I think I'll try die cutting. I'll have to get a different leaf, because the one I have, I think is, I wouldn't want a holy one, but I think I'm gonna try die cutting some of those things, because it was really pretty punched out. Okay, and then I have, is that the only piece of velvet I had? I thought I had a bunch of velvet. Oh, I do, it's hidden. Okay. And then I have these specialty vellums. This one's actually from Paper Studio. I think I was using this in my wedding album. Some white, here's red. And that is from the paper company. And this one here is from Susan Branch. Oh. And then I have these ones, and I was cutting out some of those. And that's from K & Company, right? Yep. Can you actually see them? Yeah. Okay. So it cuts them out of here too. Here's, I think this I got hot off the press. So they had the different finishes on them. And then I have this one because, you know, I was so into vintage things. It is really pretty. I need to scrapbook my grandparents. Oh, and here's a Christian one, and I'm gonna put it with my Christian stuff because I need something there. This is very pretty. The past is a work of art. And I know this one's Christian. And look at how pretty that is. And this, I've just got to put them, maybe I'll put them a little closer in front, because I did use the little Tinkerbell one day. I just don't think about them. Here's congratulations on something. Here's some vintage postcards by K & Company. And I don't remember who is this? Because I have embossed paper like this, and then I think something else. And Here's one that's just written on, scrap. Here's hearts. Here's some flowers. I probably used a lot of it for, most of them for cards. Here is a K & Company, and it looks like a ceiling tile. Those metal tiles, but it's just a super thick vellum. Okay, and then I have some lace. Or it's paper, but it's cut like lace. And I've had this, I've been hoarding this forever too. I'm gonna put it someplace else. Because it's time to quit hoarding and just use it. Here's some embossed. And I'm gonna put that with baby stuff. I'm gonna put that with Christian stuff. And then I have this one that I actually got at Big Lots. Look at that. It's beautiful. At Big Lots. And again, it's just been in the hoard. So ridiculous. Okay. And this is how come I showed, this is the real reason why I was showing you in the first place for the specialties, and because I have this velvet paper. And I had punched some of this stuff out. Is that what this is? No, it's a different color. It looks like I punched out some leaves. I don't have that leaf. My friend must have it. But I'm gonna die cut some vellum because it is just so luxurious looking on a layout. And I remember there was one day I was thinking, I know I have velvet because something I had scrapbooked just called for it, but I don't remember what it was that I had to have velvet for. And here's some, look at that. It is so luxurious. Here it is in like a royal blue, lavender. These tans are so pretty done. And there's that. Here's one that it feels like, it almost feels like leather. I mean, it still feels a little bit like paper, but it still feels like leather too. And here's another velvet. Here's another one that looks and feels like leather. And then I have this textured one. So I will leave those there. But I just thought I'd kind of show you those. I did take out one, which I didn't think I would take out any. So, and I put this on the bottom just so that they wouldn't fall out and kind of get the edges roughed up. So that's why I had that there. So that's it for today. Thank you for joining me. And the only cube I have left to do is Mente. So I'll probably just go ahead and show that too. That way I have that, because when I take everything off, then I dust it. So I have everything dusted but that one cube. So, and then, you know, it's like I cleaned out probably 3/4 of my scraps and did a bunch of die cutting. So have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.